Very pleasant. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Defo Show. We'll have the trivia challenge coming up in just a few minutes here with one Dave Gurggles Gergely. We have Mike Lubie Lubitz, the handsome gentleman over there. And I have to give you a lot of credit, Lubie. It's been remarkable. And your ability to handle both burping a baby and taking care of young Luca Panici Lubitz. This is a weird assignment that you have because it's not bring your son to work day, but you've had to bring this baby out of the crib there every day for the last, several months, and it seems to be going more smoothly. Yeah, there are days where the baby noise in the background you would consider possibly unprofessional to some people that are really
As an
critical.
understatement, I apologize profusely about it. I'm not the biggest
No,
fan.
I'm amazed by it. I applaud you, Luby. I don't know how the hell you're doing it, and then you'll be doing something with Luca, who gets a little fussy here and there, and then come right back and snap back and say, "Yeah, you know what though, Cristobal can't coach. He's going to get out."
Well, I was wrong. I'm obviously not that clear-minded because he found a way into the freaking championship game.
Are we really going to have to? We really should do that. I mean, we should offer up a written apology to Mario Cristobal. I don't know if he'll accept it from us. I doubt seriously that we're on Cristobal's radar in terms of commentaries, but it's not as if what we're saying or have been saying about Mario Cristobal is not only pretty much prevalent here, but universal around the country, that this guy was a lousy game day coach. So has he become a better game day coach? You say that he's going ahead and deferring to his assistants to make the critical calls. He does appear to be a little more involved in terms of trying to emotionally inspire the team. He always had that McDaniel stunned look on his face, didn't he, in the past? He doesn't have that anymore. And here you are, you're one game away. Yeah, now where does this leave us? If the Miami Hurricanes lose this game, they probably reload somehow at quarterback. But who's going to be around to replace Carson Beck? I mean, it's been a nice little 2-year run there between Cam Ward and Carson Beck. Carson Beck was highly suspect by comparison to Ward, who really found himself in this Miami offense and was great. Very entertaining quarterback. I don't know that Beck was that, but he's been more than efficient enough to manage to keep the Hurricanes. Obviously, he's driven them into the championship game and probably playing his most efficient ball of the year with the turnover limits that he's suddenly put in place. I think he's had one pick in 6 games, something like that, which that's not bad, Libby. Earlier in the season, he was very much inclined to make that big error at the inappropriate time. Not that there's ever a good time to make a big mistake, but it helps a lot if you're leading 31-7 when you throw that pick 6, as opposed to being in a dead even ball game. He's really corrected a lot of that. Well, when coaches say that, it always pisses me off when coaches say, we're going to have to look at the film and we got a lot of things we got to fix. And you're thinking, how are you going to fix it? Your players suck. Fix what? We got things we got to work on. We got to fix a lot of stuff. And it never gets fixed. But in this case, maybe some of it did. I don't. Is it appropriate to say that somehow they've gotten to Carson Beck, or maybe you should credit the player? Obviously, he's corrected a lot of his flaws, but he's played very well. Is this the game where it all implodes? That would be the other question, Libby.
Well, that's my thing is he's played better. And when he has been pressured, he hasn't just turned it over. But he still hasn't looked good when he's been pressured. Their offensive line's done a good job at keeping him protected. Indiana's defensive front has not been. I mean, they've gone after every quarterback they played. Even in the games that they've been tight. Their defense did the job. Like the defense has gotten after every quarterback they've gotten after. So we'll see. Yes, Luke is trying to talk to.
I like that he's trying to get an opinion in, and he's not afraid to just cut right over you.
I'm not happy about that.
Pull you out of your train of thought, which is great.
We'll see if under immense pressure, Beck cannot turn it over, because that's the turnovers came because he's getting pressured a lot, and in the last 2 games he hasn't been. The offensive line's done an amazing job at keeping him clean.
All right, Joe Beja weighing in here. Always good to hear from Joe. We'll be seeing Joe tomorrow out there at Gulfstream Park, which is getting more and more entrenched into championship meet mode. As you have, when is the Pegasus? Is that this week? The Pegasus Stakes. You would not be inclined to have the calendar in front of you.
2 weeks. I'll look it up. I think it's
Couple of weeks.
either
Okay.
next weekend or the weekend after. It's either next weekend or the weekend. It's closer to the end of January, from what I remember.
I believe my horse of horses is going to be running in the Pegasus. Skippy Longstocking, named after my dog. Well, I mean, the horse was named without any knowledge of my dog being named Skippy. But and I'm sure how many Skippy dogs do you think there are in the universe of dogs? Even just in the United States alone, I'm sure there are numerous Skippies out there. But there's only one for me, and we're always my favorite thing to do at any racetrack is to be screaming, "Come on, Skippy! Come on, Skippy!" Because I've done that so many times when I was trying to get Skippy just to come down the stairs and go for his walk, especially in his old age when he's like, "Do I really have to go now?" Yeah, yeah, come on, Skip, we're going. That'd be the way to go. So, Joe, all excited. It looks like it's funny too, because what transpired in the late going yesterday? Harbaugh supposedly, John Harbaugh, finalizing a deal with the New York Giants. He had
Yes.
dinner at the ownership. I don't know if it was Tish and Mara or what combination of ownership it was. And yet, on the back page of my New York Post today, which is kind of yesterday's news tomorrow, if you get this so-called bulldog edition that I'm getting, uh, they're saying not sayonara to Harbaugh, but that he was going to take other interviews and that this was far from a certainty that he was
Yes.
going to become the Giants head coach. And yet, ESPN late last night was reporting that essentially they're just working out the details of a contract, which
Yes.
I would imagine just involves a lot of zeros behind a big number for Harbaugh, and then a very generous allotment of capital for him to bring in his own assistants. Of the jobs that it seemed like, what was it really down to two positions that Harbaugh was thinking about? We don't know. I mean, I'm not a mind reader.
Oh, no idea.
I
It
don't know.
seemed like the Titans and the Falcons were involved.
I thought
The
the Dolphins, though, were the other team. No, never considered.
I don't know. You hear it all over the place. It seems like the Dolphins weren't as considered as we thought they were. But I think they were in it. The Giants have the best young roster, I guess, of all the teams.
My buddy Mike Jones, who's a Giants, I mean, this guy loves the Giants. He does a podcast on the Giants called The Big Gunner. And I've never seen a more optimistic fan about a team that won 4 games.
Yeah.
He really believes that they have the personnel to be good. I mean, look, Scatterbo comes back next year sometime. He was writing a pretty good story for himself this year. Everybody seems to love Jackson Dart. I don't know that I'm as in love with Jackson Dart as the rest of the world is. Showed promise, but and definitely a tough kid, but that may be Dwayne Wade like. Remember when they were talking about Dwayne Wade? They said if he keeps playing with this so-called reckless abandon, that he's not going to be for long. He's going to go Jerry Glanville when it comes to his career in the NBA. Now, he did last a long time, but we did see some debilitating things happen to him.
Yeah.
Remember, he was going to the hoop and he would land like flat on his face on
100%.
wood.
Well, a lot with the back, he would land on his back a lot, and he would use his back a lot, and a lot of the physical play he did. And his prime was cut short. He ended up playing a nice long career and ended up being an all-star caliber player for a long time. And even that last year when he came back, he was like the best player on the Heat that almost took out the number 1 seeded Raptors that year when they went to like 6 games. Like, he was still good until the end, but he wasn't the same guy. The athleticism went away because of the injury stuff. And look, Jackson Dart showed a lot of promise. Jackson Dart's very interesting. He gets hit a lot, and it's on him a lot of the time. Like, I know the Giants' offensive line hasn't been good for a few years now, and they keep trying to address it. Bless you. They keep trying to address it, and it's gotten better, but it's still not where it's supposed to be, and I'm sure that has something to do with it. A lot of his hits are outside the pocket because he runs with reckless abandon and gets leveled. Like, and here's the thing. We're with RG3.
Were they the only show today that used the term reckless abandon twice in the span of like
probably, and I'll probably say it another.
I hate that phrase too. Whenever I find myself like saying reckless abandon, I'm thinking, come up with something else.
See, I don't know, because that's how he runs.
Like throwing caution to the wind. What the hell?
Me, RG3, I never knew if he was going to be as good if he learned how to play without running the way he did, and he just never got healthy enough to do that. Jackson Dart, that's my fear with him, is like, he needs to learn how to run safer. He needs to learn how to be smarter, but will he then not be the same quarterback? So that's the thing. I don't look. Everyone's claiming because well, look at the other teams. They don't have any quarterback. So yes, Jackson Dart is an interesting quarterback.
General consensus is that the Giants have their quarterback.
The Giant, yeah, that's a consensus. We'll see.
That even
It's
if they
still
had the number 1 pick when they were only had 2 wins and they were right there with
get
the
drafted
Raiders
one.
before they
Yeah.
lost, or they beat the Raiders, which loses out in the race for number 1, which now looms as an even larger consideration because of the fact that number 2, when Dante Moore blew a gasket there in that game against Indiana and looked horrendous, decided to go back to school instead of I don't know if you were going to be drafted by the New York Jets. I would think the Jets are dumb enough to take a look at that game and just ignore it and say, "Well, that was an aberration." But that threw the draft into a much different circumstance because now you don't necessarily have quarterbacks that are going to go 1-2. I don't know who would you rate? Is it Simpson? Is he the next best guy
Yeah, he's
behind
gonna
Mendoza?
be the next best guy. I don't understand this thing. Look, I get you have to have ratings of quarterbacks every year. Like there has to be a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4. But we've had years where there were crappy quarterbacks, so they didn't draft quarterbacks high. Like the last few years, they've gotten into this thing where it's like, well, even if the quarterback sucks, we have to take him 1. No, you don't. Like Mendoza's really a late first round, second round guy.
You believe that? Yeah.
You don't have to take him 1.
You don't think Fernando Mendoza is the number
I
one
don't know what to do
clear
with
cut
him. Like he's played so much better, but he's also 28. Like he's
pick?
23. He's been starting for
But
4
was
years.
Wanky younger than Mendoza when he left college? Chris
No,
Wanky.
Wanky was 20, 29. He's only like 23, but he's been starting a long time, which is amazing. And it makes him a guy that I think will be good in the pro. It makes him a guy I think will be good in the pros. But I don't know if he's a first overall pick. Like he's played really well this season. He's also
Incredible accuracy on his passes.
well, no, and he's played the way he's playing
He's
now
thrown
is
5 incompletions, 8 touchdown passes.
yeah, and he doesn't just throw dink and dunks. Like he challenges himself. Like he's a really good quarterback. I think he's a first round pick. I don't know if he's a top 5 guy. And then after that, it falls off a cliff. Like Ty Simpson to me is like a second, third round guy that you're going to force into the top 10 now. Like just because you need a quarterback doesn't mean you force a quarterback. Like that's the one of the and I get it. The contracts are not the Sam Bradford level, but they've come back up a lot, and it's still some guaranteed money, and it's still like I don't know. It's to me just because like their quarterback's there, then you have to force draft them. Yes, Simpson's going to be the second guy now, and Simpson's probably going to go top 10. And that's why UM had no shot because that money is way bigger than NIL money. But I don't know if he's a guy that I wouldn't want him in the top 10. People talk about the Dolphins drafting at 11. I wouldn't want to draft him at 11. I'll tell you that right now. With all the holes the Dolphins have, I would not want to draft Ty Simpson at 11.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting thing too. See, I was mistaken about this apparently, and I don't know why I believe that Harbaugh would give serious consideration. Yeah, you had the Stephen Ross ties with Jim Harbaugh. I don't know how influential that would be on his brother John, but there seems to be a pretty tight knit line of thinking among the Harbaughs, including the father, when it comes to their approach to how they do their business. John Harbaugh, what of the 9 openings that there are right now, could he take his pick? Anything but Baltimore, and it would be kind of weird. I guess Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the Ravens, addressed the idea that they were going to pick up Mike Tomlin, who resigned. We didn't even barely mention that yesterday. Did we even mention that on the program, Lubie? Did we go an entire hour? We were talking about that whole Supreme Court thing and the transgender stuff. Maybe got a little bit carried away with that because there is no definitive conclusion to it. I don't know when the ruling is coming forward, but I would imagine they're going to rule in favor of the states that have issued that ban and preserve their right to go ahead and do what they want with their high school and college teams. With regard to that issue, which is a thorny issue in the sense that you hate to see anybody deprived of any opportunity, but at the same time, as we were discussing yesterday, there are certain decisions that you make in your life that come with unfortunate sacrifices, and that just might be one of them for males transgendering into females, that they lose their ability to play high school sports, college sports as females, which is weird. And like I said, you don't. There isn't even an issue about females who have. Here we go again on the transgender thing. Talk about going down a
I usually
sordid path with
honestly,
no
I
answer.
don't have really that strong of an opinion.
Why
I
do
think
they
it's
even bring this
lame,
up?
but whatever. If they did let dude, girls, whatever you call, I guess women who were once men play with
There are
women,
women that play in men's
I
sports.
wouldn't actually care. Like to
Yeah.
me, I don't think this is that big of a deal. I don't think it's equal. I don't think it's fair. So I understand not letting them do it. But if they did, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't care. I'd go back to bitching about the Dolphins coaching search. FSU sucks. And I don't know what the Heat are doing with this John Morant stuff. Like, that's where my attention would be regardless. Like, I don't think I honestly think it's like less than 1%. Like, it's not an actual issue.
Right. It's not.
Like,
It's not affecting 50% of the people that are
it's
involved.
not a big friggin' deal. It's really
Women playing in men's sports. What do you have? You had a couple of female kickers on college teams. Did you
tried.
not?
Yes, they've tried. Yeah, they'd love to be able to play men's football. It doesn't work.
You don't see a lot of women running. I've seen, there are women that are capable of playing with guys. You go out recreationally every now and then. There'll be, I don't want to say a chick, but be out there getting ready to run full, and you didn't mind having that. There were women that you would prefer having on your team to some of the guys, right?
100%.
The typical fat kid in the corner that's shooting the jump shot, and you're going, no, not even a jumper, just a set shot out of the corner. And you're like, no, boom, and somehow it banks off the rim and goes in. But anyway, yeah, all right. So I thought Harbaugh. Just getting back to this, finish this thought on Harbaugh. I thought Harbaugh was considering the Dolphins and the Giants, that those were the two teams that were front runners. We're getting all
As last week.
here.
As this week rolled, when they went with the GM, the VP of scouting or personnel from the Packers, Sullivan, it didn't remove them from it, but it showed them that people like me were wrong, that they clearly were not just going all in on Harbaugh. And they were not front runner. I think they were in it. They definitely reached out to him eventually, and they would have liked to have had him, but they weren't going to. They wanted the GM, and they wanted him to be able to pick who he wants, and it wasn't we have to get a Harbaugh situation. So go for the Giants. They got their guy. They, I guess, are a little bit ahead.
Supposedly what it's going to be.
Where the Heat are. The Heat. They're ahead of where the Dolphins are. Like, the Dolphins don't have a quarterback. They don't have a Malik Neighbors. The offensive line. Patrick Paul is a nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming in as a Dolphins head coach, what do you do? Are you really going to stick with Quinn Ewers?
No. You go with a younger. I mean,
you're going to keep Tua on the bench the whole year. He's not even going to get another shot, Lubie.
I don't know what you do with Tua.
Is the book and the door closed on Tua Tagovailoa as a Dolphins quarterback? You would think so, but don't they have to get him off the roster? I know they can't. They're snookered. If you're stuck with this guy for $50 million, don't you throw him out there? Do you not have a better chance of winning with Tua than you do Quinn Ewers at this stage?
You're talking to the wrong guy. I'm thinking practically. To me, you're going to pay Tua regardless. If you have him or if you waive him, then why not have him on the roster? I get the thing of, well, then it's a distraction. Well, it shouldn't be. Don't let it be. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you need as much quarterbacks on the roster as possible. You're paying the guy no matter what to get rid of him, pay him, and then go get another veteran guy to pay them to do what Tua's going to do is dumb to me. I would draft a quarterback. I would keep Ewers. I would probably bring in a veteran and keep Tua, and then just let them all duke it out. But again, the GM's going to have the say in that, and then he's going to
Tyrod Taylor being coach, being quarterback. And he's always the answer.
That's my thing. If you're going to go pay a Tyrod Taylor, then why not pay Tua? I don't. That's the thing I don't understand.
Always one of those guys. Huntley, Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton is
still in the league. He probably could work.
No, not Colt McCoy, but Andy Dalton. They still do that with Andy Dalton. Yeah. They still move him around as the guy.
How exciting to go to the stadium and think you're going to see that. They have one good game once in a while. Look at that. The guy can still play. All right. So anyway, the Harbaugh chapter looks like he's going to the Giants. Joe B says that Joe Beja, we do have a Joe B. Joe B's, of course, puts out that fabulous supplement that we are big promoters of. But Joe Beja says Atlanta has a better roster. You think so? But that they have a lot of questions also.
Yes, they do.
And so, well, who doesn't? I mean, if you won 4 games last year like the Giants did and fired your head coach before we even got to mid-season, which I'm also surprised. You forget about a guy like Brian Daboll, who was the coach of the year just a couple of years ago. Actually was he interviewed by the Tennessee Titans for their opening? And also is under heavy consideration to become an offensive coordinator somewhere. Brian Daboll.
Daniel. Daboll. Yeah. Daboll as an OC is a great move.
I figured... Like who's hiring it? Yeah, you look for a guy like that to resurface as an assistant somewhere, but I didn't even think about this guy as part of this coaching carousel. Remarkable. 32 teams, 9 openings.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Think about that. It's like a third of the league needs a new coach.
It literally is. Yes, it's more than a quarter.
Does that speak to the value of having a good coach, or that the head coach is somewhat irrelevant because it's just an interchangeable part? What do you think?
It speaks to the fact that we had guys like Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen have the success they had in year 1. So it's making organizations say, "See, we told you we don't have to stick with this guy that's being average." So
Yes.
that's what it is. It's
There are always at least an equal or greater number of failures, though, from
100%.
coordinators. I mean, look, you could look at Aaron Glenn. What happened there?
I mean, look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins have the last. That's the problem with the last. What is it? The last 3 or 4 hires a head coach have all been first time coaches, and they've all failed miserably.
Amazing.
That's the thing. Like the first time coach is now trendy. Down here, we wanted an experienced coach because we've had the first time coach a lot, and it hasn't worked.
All right, we're going to resolve a lot of these questions and answers. We'll go through the games that are coming up. I'm in just laced with anticipation here. Dave Gurggles. I didn't realize you were standing by again, Gurggles. You know what happened? My little private chat doesn't come up unless I punch it, and there was nothing on there. It used to pop up. I don't know what happened.
They switched the goddamn format, so now it's a pain in the ass, and
There-
you don't notice it right away. So I brought him on.
So
anyone who uses the term reckless abandon is obviously has delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
Yeah, think of it that way.
Freddie Pacheco got on me one day in the middle of calling a boxing match because I was using the phrase, and sometimes, look, you're just stuck and it pops into your head. And I was talking about throwing caution to the wind, and he said, "That's a meaningless phrase, you know. And by the way, the guy's he's being counted out as you speak, you idiot." He wasn't afraid to just call you out on using stupid language.
And I think the greatest transgender was when they were trying to create a new category at Wimbledon for mixed singles for Renee Richards, but they never came to be.
Well, now, am I wrong about this, Gurggles? Because Lubie probably wasn't following his story as closely, but wasn't Renee Richards, when she was playing professional tennis as a woman after being Dr. Richard Raskin throughout most of her life, and being a somewhat accomplished tennis player as a guy, wasn't she sort of accepted by the women's tennis players as, okay?
They didn't complain. They didn't complain. Matter of fact, she wrote a book. Didn't she write a book called Tennis Without Balls? With Balls. Something like that. Yeah.
No, that was a joke, Gurggles.
Oh, it was? Okay. I don't know.
The Polyman wouldn't even use that one. All right. We have Dave Gurggles. We're going to do the trivia challenge. That's brought to you by Perdomo Cigars, and always a great job. You can dial us up if you want to play at 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070, and we'll get into it. I don't believe we have any prize package again today, Lubie, so you're playing strictly for the distinction.
I have some certificates that should still be eligible.
I'm reluctant to send people into a place that's
after this month. I don't know, so I just feel bad offering up stuff to people that I don't know if they can use. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say send them into Landlubbers with a gift certificate for an office chair from Landy. That would confuse everybody.
We have a $50 gift certificate to Tony's Casinopolis, one of my all-time favorite Miami restaurants. Been closed, shuttered for about 40 years, and so we'll send you in there. I mean, it would be the same thing as, it's always awkward when the person that won a prize and is about to redeem this $25 gift certificate hands it to the person that's serving them, and they bring the manager over, and the guy looks at it like, what the F is this? It's like getting an IOU from the Polyman. I mean,
well, we never even got that.
Doing well, by the way. Doing well. And still masterfully clever. I wish he would make a comeback here on the show. We love that guy, and we tease
make an economic comeback, but that's another matter.
Right. No, I think he's going strong right now.
Good.
I think he bought Bitcoin at like 8 cents.
Beautiful. Wow.
But he's not the type to just go out there and say, I just happen to get filthy rich, because he likes the humble nature that he's exhibited his entire life, and he just doesn't want to change that up.
I remember mentioning the word garnish to him, and he said, "No, I don't like anything on my hot dog." So
no parsley. I don't need it. Save the parsley. All right, jump on board if you want to play. 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. Already lined up here, so you want to get right to it, Dave?
Yes,
Gergely, in honor of our esteemed colleague, the Polyman. And we'll start the game in the traditional fashion with Dave and some
easy baseball. This promoter and owner of both the White Sox and the Cubs on Game Knowledge said, I've discovered in 20 years of moving around the ballpark that the knowledge of the game is usually in inverse proportion to the price of the seats. Bill Beck, Tony Kubek, Johnny Paycheck, or John Beck?
I got to roll a random phone scrambler here. and this is particularly entertaining to Luka Lubitz. You notice no fussiness while the scrambler is in action. He loves the sound of the thing, and we do too because it landed on Mike. Mike, you're up first here on the trivia challenge. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, eh?
Correct, sir.
Well done, Mike.
Going for two.
College football, true or false, Mike? Quarterback Ty Simpson, which you guys just talked about, a likely first-round draft pick, has a younger brother, Trevor Simpson, who is the nation's #1 rated high school quarterback. True or false?
True.
True.
No, that's false.
No,
that's the jockey that paid $87 that I had last week, Trevor Simpson.
That was a hell of a payoff, Gurggles. Did you not think that was about 4 times what it could have been?
No, I kind of had an inkling when the 1-9 shot was paying $1,200 that it was going to be significant.
Wow. I mean, that was with like 3 relatively short-priced horses in front of it, and then this $80.
It helped with my property tax to do and other stuff, by all means.
Did you have an all ticket in that race, or did you actually?
I did. I only had 2 horses.
No, I'm talking about in the race before.
No. I wanted to play 1-2-6, and I punched 1-3-6 by mistake and didn't know it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't care. I wouldn't have picked that horse.
Nice job, Gurggles. I mean, a major score there by Dave Gurggles Gergely. All right. What do we got? We got
we got one going for 4.
One going for 4.
All right, Mike. In 1996, I think the last time a Division I team won a national championship for the first time, who was that team? Was it Clemson, Florida, FSU, or Washington?
Washington.
That's what I would have said. No?
It was great to be a Florida Gator fan.
Them Gators. Very nice. Going for 6 points here, Mike, to set the pace.
All right, let's take you up to pro football. Who was the first team to score more than 20 points in a Super Bowl game and lose? Minnesota, Buffalo, Denver, or Dallas?
Denver.
Denver, he says.
Oh, it was the Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl 12, 35-31, when our boy, the Mad Dog, got his second Super Bowl or third Super Bowl ring.
Wow.
Jackie Smith dropped that pass in the end zone.
Unbelievable. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, great. That would have been a good trivia question right there. Mike with 1 point, not exactly his usual stellar performance, but nonetheless, it puts him in the mix. And you can dial us up if you want to play at 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070 if you'd like to play the game. Good time to get in a word about your favorite cigar, your favorite smoke of all time, and that would be...
Perdomo Cigars, yeah. I just stopped there last week to pick up another box of 10th anniversary Robustos and Churchills for the golf course. We're slammed out here. We had a little rain yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be in the 40s here. Luckily, that's my day off at the golf course.
Is that in the daytime?
Right now, it's sunny, and we've got starting times booked all the way through till 1 o'clock, I think, today. So it's quite busy. And, of course, one of the main things they get out here are Perdomo Cigars. You don't have to come to our golf course to do it, but you can get them right from the factory or selected right there, 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto, just a little bit east of the Home Depot on the right side, 305-627-6700, and perdomocigars.com if you want to find a retailer near you that sells them on the weekend. So when the Canes cover 16.5 because of my teaser, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
Good for you.
That would be an 8-point teaser?
Yeah. 8-point teaser, but I also teased the Patriots and the Texans under, and I teased it up from like 38 to 46. Oof. And then I have another one in there like that. But I thought I'd do that. Last week I thought I had it. I had the Carolina Panthers teased down from 10.5. The Rams teased from 10.5 to 2.5, and they win by 3. I said, I got this. The next thing I had was an under on the Bears Packers, and if they scored 58 points. So that lost that.
That was a rough one, yeah.
And
is that adage still applicable where they send a cab for a guy that's spitting
and a limo for the teaser guys?
For the teasers, yeah.
Well, I'd hit the first 3, so I figured I'm only playing small money. No big deal.
There was a great example of the teaser. Which game was it where they did that lateral play at the end of the ball game? And I think, was this the last week of the regular season?
Yes.
It was the Colts.
Yep.
The Colts, and they were going against a team they were supposed to get slaughtered by, and they were hanging in there. And then they do that lateral play, and if you were teasing the game, you ended up on the winning side of things. But all because they scored on that final play, which I'm thinking, my God, how infrequently does that happen? Well, when you need that to happen, and how often does it happen when it's the last thing on earth that you want to see transpire? All right, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070, as we let Lubie slide back into the seat there, because we're going to go to our next set of questions with Dave Gurggles Gergely.
Boxing. This journeyman fighter, one of his toughest opponents, said Ernie Shavers could punch you in the neck and break your ankle. And that was our old buddy Randall Tex Cobb, Tex Antoine Walker, or Chet the Jet Walker.
Good choices. Here's a scrambler to select our next player. All right, all the way up to Vero Beach in the Treasure Coast. Vero Beach Dave, you're on the trivia challenge. Hello, VBD.
Good morning, guys. You hear me? It's
Yes.
actually
Yeah.
Damon.
Sound good.
Damon, this is Damon.
I'm not Vero Beach Dave, but
This is Damon.
take that handle.
Sorry about
Oh,
that.
you know Damon? Okay.
Sorry about that.
Anyway,
Good morning, Mr.
I will go with good morning. I'll go with A.
All right.
He's
Well done. All right, Gulf. Is it Dave or Dan? Damon.
Damon.
All right.
Like Heward
Johnny Damon, like Johnny Damon.
or Johnny Damon.
Okay.
There you
All
go.
right.
Exactly.
Damon, here it is. Golf,
That's-
true or false? Believe it or not, Jim Backus, a.k.a. Mr. Magoo and Thurston Howell III, was the first amateur player ever to make the 36-hole cut at Pebble Beach during the Bing Crosby Pro-Am.
Mm.
True or false?
False.
No, that's true.
It's true.
Magoo, you've done it again.
This one
Jim
knows
Backus,
it.
yes.
Imagine it.
Actually knows
Yeah.
it.
Imagine Jim Nance saying, "Here's Thurston Howell III."
Yes. He was also great. It's a mad world, and where he fell asleep in the plane or got knocked out with Mickey Rooney and Buddy Hackett. But that's another story for another time. Okay, let's go back to college football. Of all the teams that have won a national championship since the start of the AP polls in 1936, which team has gone the longest without winning their second championship?
Oh, wow.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, TCU, or Texas Tech?
God.
Just because I'm from Wisconsin, I will say Wisconsin.
Well, that's a good place to be from, but actually, if you were from TCU, you'd have got it. It was
All right.
TCU, as a matter of fact.
Jesus, TCU. Okay.
Here we go. One going for 6 at the pace.
All right, let's see if we can give you a little bit easier question as far as that goes. Let's give you a hockey question. 1986, Montreal's rookie goaltender, Patrick Waugh, recorded his first of 66 career NHL shutouts in the Canadiens' 4-0 win against
Ooh. Not an easy one. I mean,
Winnipeg, Edmonton, Boston, or the Rangers?
I don't even think Wow would know the answer to that.
I don't know. He doesn't even know how to pronounce his own name. I'll go with Winnipeg.
Yes.
The Jets.
Correct.
Of course he
Well
gets it.
done, Damon. I knew you knew your hockey.
You'll be in the finals, Damon. Hang around and we'll
That's
get
like
you on.
being
All right.
happy you had a fat finger and ended up hitting the 3 instead of the 2 for several dimes. All right, Dave, it looks like he's earned his spot in the final there. He's
Good.
in that John Harbaugh leverage seat right now where he's got a commanding grip on a trip to the final. So we'll play another one and then go there. 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070 if you'd like to join us here on the phone lines. And so now the daytime temperature is supposed to be in the 40s, were you saying?
Yeah, tomorrow the highs, the lowest will be 45 in the morning.
Oh, okay. But it's going to warm up to the usual 80.
It's going to get up to 65 or something.
Perfect golf weather.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And same thing Monday for the game. It's supposed to be 68 during the day and close to 50 game time.
I don't know if that's advantageous for the
I don't
Hurricanes.
think it's an advantage to either team as far as that goes.
How big do you think the home field advantage is, if at all?
Well, I think Indiana, I think if they would have played Oregon, it would have been huge. But I think Indiana's going to travel like crazy. These
The whole
Midwesterners
state's
have that money under their mattress waiting to spend it, and a chance like this, I think it'll be 60-40. If you went to sports bars or 49th Street in Hialeah with pots and pans, it's all canes. But as far as the stadium and shelling out the dough, I think it's going to be pretty close.
Is that the most outrageous parking fee you've ever seen? Supposedly
Wow.
$750 to park
Is that amazing?
in one of the stadiums.
I would just go to the Calder, put $2 in the slot machine, and then walk over.
That's what was suggested by many people who are addressing this question on social media, saying go to Calder and walk over. Now, that's a longer walk than you would anticipate, Dave Gurggles.
Yeah, but I've done it. I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? If you figured that would probably be if it's a mile, so that's
It looks like more than a mile to me.
all right. Call it 2
I'll
miles.
tell you how I know this because there were a couple of times that I was doing the pregame show and I had a little time between that and my first activity. And I think I attempted to walk to Calder because there was a horse that I loved, and I'd scalped some tickets by the turnpike. So I had a pocket full of cash. And I thought, well, it's right around the corner here. But in Florida, like nothing is around the corner. Everything is
You couldn't use Jim Leyland's bullpen phone. It goes directly to Calder, didn't it?
straight to Phil Salzman. I witnessed a couple of those calls. I literally did. That was no fantasy. Jim Leland, it was in the middle of the sixth inning of a ball game. And on television, they're going, well, there's Leland going to the bullpen phone. And we're watching this, and then the phone rings in Salzman's booth where he's doing the announcing, and it's Leland telling him to please bet 200 on the sixth for him. I think I heard something. They're going to bring in number 6. That would be Roy White. He's not even designated as a pitcher. It's mystifying to the people that were doing the game. All right, ready for our next set of questions. Final set in regulation play here. And here's Dave.
All right, NBA hoops. This longtime play-by-play and then coach on the fans near his bench says, coaches who start listening to fans usually wind up sitting next to them. What's that? Johnny Red Kerr, Johnny Umar was the rebel, Johnny Crack Corn, or Johnny Carson?
Roll it, Lubie. One final time. Oh, beautiful. I may even be seeing this man tonight. Andy Man, you're on the trivia challenge. Come on.
Brother, hey, the prize is 0 today?
Zero prize so far.
I have Leland's gift certificates. I just don't know.
You know what? I'll
they're usable.
double it. I'll double the price.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow. Magnanimous sport.
More
Wow.
nothing.
I think the Bleacher Brothers Network is doing the very same thing.
Wow, Andy, your regular John Beresford tip to that donation. I like that.
Anybody has an old Carl Yastrzemski rookie card, well,
Yeah,
gladly
there
give
you
it away if you want to donate it to the cause here. All right, you're in the game, Andy. You have 1 point.
All right, wrestling, true or false? Wheel of Fortune host Ryan Seacrest was quite the athlete in high school in Atlanta. He ran cross country and was Georgia State's 135-pound wrestling runner-up. True or false?
As much as I'll go with false.
I'm going for
That's
this.
false.
Yeah.
He did play football, but that's false.
Oh, he did? All right.
Yeah.
I didn't see him doing that. I thought, he could have been like you, who aspired to be a game show host, where he just was spending all of his time trying to figure out how to be Dick Clark. And he did a nice job of it, you would have to say.
Yes, he did.
You know what? No, is he just obsessed with working the guys on everything?
Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah,
Crazy.
see,
Yeah, it makes no sense. He's made a lot of money everywhere. It's weird.
everywhere. Unbelievable. All right, 2 for 2, Andy, and going for 5.
All right, let's take you back to 1993. Michael Jordan had 35 points, and he led to Chicago to a 120-95 win by giving him his actually 20,000th point. And they won over whom?
Boom.
These are
Philadelphia, the New York Knicks, the New Jersey Nets, or the Milwaukee Bucks?
They had plus 23 in that game with the other team. I'll take the Knicks.
It's always
it
the
was
Knicks. No?
the Milwaukee Bucks of all the teams.
It isn't the Knicks, it's the Bucks. It would have been my next guess. Going for 7 here, Andy.
All right, let's take you back
All
to
right.
75, a great trade in baseball for the Yankees. The Yankees got George Doc Medich. They traded George Doc Medich, and they got 4 players. Which of the following was not one of the 4 they got in that trade? They got 3 players.
All right.
Which of the following was not?
Not.
Horace Clark, Willie Randolph, Doc Ellis, or Ken Brett? Which was not part of that trade? That's
Horace
right.
Horace Clark was not part of that trade.
That's right. He was not. It was Pittsburgh Pirates at the time.
Nice, man. Hang on, you're in the final.
He was part of the agony, though, that I experienced when I still was a remotely involved Yankee fan. And they just absolutely – the Horace Clark era. Imagine you have an era named after you of futility.
Him and Jerry Kenny. Yeah, the double play duo.
He might have been their best player too, like a 260 career hitter, Horace Clark. All right, we're going to match up the finals here. It's going to feature Damon
David.
Damon and Andy.
and Andy. They were our high point total gatherers here during the regulation portion of the show. And Dave, while we do that, another quick word about Perdomos.
Yeah, Perdomo Cigars. It's getting a little cloudy out here right now, but people are still playing golf and they can get Perdomo Cigars right here at the Pro Shop. But right down the road at 57th Avenue in the Palmetto, you can go Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I stopped in the last couple of weeks. You walk in there, there's your concierge. Will help you right away. Bruce, an ex-retired police officer. Nick Jr. There's a Nick the Fourth now. God bless him. Not a little baby, but the Peroma's going strong. They make them perfect one at a time. People say, well, what kind of tobacco? It's Cuban tobacco grown in Nicaragua on the farms over there. And whether it's a Maduro wrapper, Connecticut wrapper, they've got them all. They have even a selection where you can buy one of each. So if you're looking for a gift for someone or just starting a little bit of a cigar habit, Perdomo Cigars is the place to go. Call them 305-627-6700. If it happens to be a Saturday, go online and they'll tell you exactly where they sell them. So when the Canes cover that 16 and a half, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
8-point teaser, man. Remarkable, Gurggles. That's a good one. What this was at the Hard Rock? You're getting this?
Yeah. They have up to a 10-point. You can do a 10-point if you want to.
And what kind of price do you have to lay on that?
I think this one is even money.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you don't lay anything.
What do you need? Three components?
The other one is, I know it's Texas and whoever they play, the under. And then I have another one in there that's another under, I think.
But you have to go 3 deep to get the even money.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. All right, ready for the finals here, and it's going to be our good friend Andy, and also a good friend of the program, Damon. As Dave's going to fire off a question, call out your name if you would like to answer right away. Nobody answers right away. We offer multiple choice. The first person to call out his name gets first chance, and we go back and forth until we have a winner. So for the distinction of being the champion of this week's Trivia Challenge, here's Dave.
And this is not so easy baseball, but it is baseball. Which of the following daytime soap operas did Yogi Berra once appear on?
Oh, good one. All right, here are the choices.
One Life to Live, As the World Turns, General Hospital, or The Young and the Restless?
Amen.
David, which one was it?
Damon, you're up. What'd you say?
One Life to Live.
One Life to Live.
No.
Incorrect.
I love how confidently he said that. I was
Leads-
like, wow, you watched that
It's
episode?
3. I saw him. I swear to God.
Andy taking a page out of Lenny's book, letting the other guy answer first.
I
All right, Andy, was it
I'll go with
As the World Turns, General Hospital, or The Young and the Restless?
like sands through the hourglass as the world. Oh, that stays through our life. As
Yeah.
the world turns. Okay.
As the world turns.
That's
Incorrect.
wrong, too.
Wow.
Damon, was it General Hospital or
General
The Young
Hospital.
and the Restless?
General Hospital.
Damon
That's
all over
General
General
Yes.
Hospital.
He played, it was General Hospital. He played Dr. Lawrence Peter Berra, and he said to
Congrats,
Dr.
Damon.
Berendini, he said, would you like my table? And that was his only line. Yogi Berra.
See the Young and the Restless being one of the
I was going to put in Dark Shadows, but I didn't think he'd fit in there.
Yogi on a soap opera. Wow. That was
Yeah.
great. All right. Good stuff. Way to finish. Congratulations to Damon, who came through and won the championship. We will, at some point in time, we'll try and backtrack. I don't know if
Oh,
we'll
yeah. No
account
problem.
for this. There doesn't
Give
seem
a
to be-
prize. I have land numbers. We'll see if it
Does it-
works, or I'll find.
Does he have any use for a palm tree? Yeah, could we do that?
Well, never mind. Never mind affordability. Accountability is a strange word now to be using around the country. So maybe one day we'll be held accountable to come up with a prize.
Or a gift certificate to Huddles, or we'll break your leg. All right. Never.
Those guys are tough, man. I remember
Oh, you ain't telling me, man. All
appalling-
right, gentlemen. I got to go to work.
See you later. Dave Gurggles, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to come back with more. A lot more to discuss here on the program. There was a Leitner-like buzzer beater yesterday. Did you happen to catch that, Lubie? In a college basketball game, Kentucky, actually, who was victimized by the Leitner shot. Were they not? Wasn't that Rick Pitino's Kentucky team semifinals?
Yes.
In the Final Four, but it wasn't the championship game, the Leitner shot? Is that right?
Was it in the Final Four? I don't know if it was in the Final Four. I think it was like.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been around
I
prior.
think it was the eights for some reason.
Yeah, might have been. Very possible. Anyway, they had one yesterday. It was a thing of beauty. Guy chucks the ball from his opposing baseline all the way to the free throw line, where with like a split second to go, a guy hits a turnaround jumper, goes right through the hoop, and they beat LSU. Kentucky not exactly having a stellar season, but that was a big highlight last night. It's Dante Moore staying in school, I guess.
I think it's a moronic move. From a football standpoint, it's probably smart because he'll learn and all that. And you don't really learn in the NFL; you just play. But he's going to be he was going to, even after that disaster, he was going to be a top 5 pick just because
he was probably going to the Jets.
He has the measurables to be a really good NFL quarterback. And he is a guy that's worth a top 10 pick, actually, like of all these guys.
Maybe, yeah.
So it's sort of, to me, once you get there, you're just hurting yourself. We've seen in the NFL so many times guys go back and they just hurt themselves.
Red Sox making deals to get pitching. The Marlins traded your man, Ryan Weathers, son of David Weathers.
He was actually okay.
They got some prospects. So they've traded Perez and Ryan Weathers. Would that not have been 2/5 of their starting rotation, or am I way off on that?
Seemed like it, yes.
We know that Perez was going to be a starter. I don't know. Was Ryan Weathers? He had injury problems, but he had actually been showing promise in the times that he was out there on the mound. So it wasn't like you would throw in the towel on a kid just because he had missed a lot of time and was often having to shake off a little ring rust coming back into situations. But overall, from a numerology standpoint, you would look at his resume and say, yeah, take a shot with this kid. As a 4th, 5th starter, is it a disaster for a team that's hard-pressed to match up talent-wise with anybody else in the league? What are we doing? How many prospects do we have? I mean,
I don't know.
There's going to be some organization in about 7 years, Lubie.
I know they made some moves that worked last year, so I'm trying to not do what we did last year and slam Bendix, because they did end up going on a really good run, and they did make last season a lot of fun.
Bendix made fools of us, much like Mario Cristobal is about to.
Exactly. So I'm trying to withhold. I have not been critical of Cristobal, so I'm going to try and withhold judgment on Bendix, because they have actually made moves for position players that did work.
All right.
I just hate giving away young pitching prospects that aren't prospects anymore, because Cabrera had become their best pitcher. So
what baseball outpost is J.J. Bleday at? Is he with the
great question.
The A's? I think he is. I think he's like
that's a great question.
Kind of line drive shots out of the right field corner there into the right field corner in Sacramento. Unbelievable. All right, we're coming back with more. We'll be back. Trust us, people. That's Mike Lubie Lubitz. I'm Jeff DeForest. Thanks to Dave Gurggles Gergely to Trivia Challenge. Appreciate the players. Good game today for only contesting 3 spots. And we'll be back with more in a moment. Now that. I was going to play. It's 8:50.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs, unmatched. Steaks, hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Joe Bees. The bees collect the pollen, bring it to Joe, he packages it, and he gets it to you. It's simple, 100% natural, and it's good for you.
There's only one place to get Joe Bees, and that's from me. Joe B.
If you want to look and feel good, call 877-300-5632.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't get your question.
You were a coach that you coached all kinds of teams. You had teams that...
Hey, say it in English. That got it?
Enjoy your trip to work with lots of laughs, thanks to Defo and Lubie. Now on the Defo Show.
It's the greatest eliciting of a dadgummit from Bobby Bowden that I've ever heard in my life. I can't get enough of that clip. You could play it every day 10 times. and I will love it every time. Not because you were sort of being called to the carpet there for maybe speaking a bit quickly in your excitement and exuberance, but because it was Bobby Bowden saying, I mean, like a sarcastic dad coming. That's sarcasm to it. Like, come on, kid. You sound like you understand. Stand corrected here. I don't know why I was obsessed with Perez. It wasn't Perez. It was Cabrera that was traded to the Cubs, right?
Well, I know what you meant. So, yes,
No.
the guy that was their best pitcher. Yuri Perez, I know, has been interesting, but Cabrera became very consistent.
Cabrera was good. Yeah, no doubt about it. And Weathers had potential. So we don't know who's going to be pitching for this club. And we were thinking that nobody really gives a flying one. I don't know that inspired anybody, what the Marlins did last season, Lubie. Are you sensing that because they make virtually no noise in the offseason? Now, is this about to explode? And our entire negative usual diatribes about the Marlins' irrelevance to the South Florida sporting community and baseball in general? I mean, you don't hear anybody talking about Bruce Sherman at this point and what the team is or is not doing. Do you run across anybody that ever mentions to you, even knowing and recognizing you and saying, you're Mike Lubie Lubitz, you're that sports guy? And then you get the following almost obligatory sports question. Hey, you think the Marlins can do it this year? Does anybody ever say that to you, Lubie?
Oh, no. They
and
used
you're
to.
all over the place, too. Yeah.
They used to. You don't hear about the Marlins at all. I mean, you talk about it. Indifference has settled in so much. It's weird because the Panthers are actually good, and people still don't do it about the Panthers.
No. They won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and do you see people running around town in Panther jerseys? No. With the little Stanley Cups on their head? No.
Now they at least get consistent attendance. We used to make fun of the fact that it'd be empty. It's never empty anymore, so that's good. But no, people still don't talk Panthers, but no one talks Marlins. I mean, Dolphins, they're starting to talk a little Canes, that's the other thing. The Canes are in the championship game, and I barely hear it.
Are the Dolphins just in a pathetically impossible situation in terms of giving rise to hope that they will be championship material anytime in the near future? No coach, all right, and is it possible? I would be a big advocate of this. I just love to see him sign Chris Shula and give this guy his shot.
Well, if you're going to go the defensive route, that's where I would go because he's done a really good job with the Rams. The Rams had become an offensive team, and the defense had sort of fallen off after Aaron Donald. They did a good job in the draft, and he's done a good job turning it around. Young dude. Other organizations did interview him, and the Shula thing is a cool story. I mean, it just is.
I'd like to have him bring on Mike Shula as his offensive coordinator.
I mean, he at least.
I want David Shula in charge of catering at the stadium.
I don't want. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's.
Are there any other Shulas that we could put on the roster? I'm going Shula all the way. I want everybody to start right now. Go ahead and close your eyes and start chanting Shula, Shula, Shula.
I think Shula all the time.
Even if it doesn't work, I'm okay with it. I would just love the whole story. That we would have something every day to reflect on here, Lubie. Could Chris Shula possibly even come close? Now, nobody's going to duplicate what Don Shula's done because nobody's won as many games, not even Belichick, for God's sake.
Oh, no. Belichick gave up.
Belichick.
Yeah. Or no one wants him, I guess. No one wanted Belichick, I guess.
Kind of pooped his pants at North Carolina so far, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. It's a disaster.
So you're asking yourself, would he have been successful in the pros? What represents success in the pros anymore? Where a Mike Tomlin has to step down. The Rooneys, they seem to conduct themselves with such dignity and reserve compared to most owners who are ready to go ahead and put anybody's contract in the shredder after they go 0-2 to start the season. The Rooneys are to be respected for that, no? And they did go ahead and fulfill their own rule. Had they not hired Mike Tomlin, a black head coach, at the time that they did, when the Rooney Rule was first gathering steam as a concept, and I guess it had been instituted, could they have ever faced the general public again? Not to be very fortuitous. First 5 years, Tomlin took off like a rocket, and yet I would say this: I don't know what to make of Tomlin as an offensive coach. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Well, they never threw a quarterback. I don't know how much of that's on Tomlin or the personnel people.
Roethlisberger, I mean, wasn't bad.
No. Roethlisberger was a Hall of Famer. I'm saying after, again, with Roethlisberger, they won. They won Super Bowls. They were contending for the AFC every year. The last
2 Super Bowls and won one of them in the first 5 years of his tenure.
6 years or so, like ever since Roethlisberger's been gone, they've tried to make it up and get another quarterback, and they just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Tomlin. I don't know who that's to blame, but that's why.
Can we define his coaching style, though? I mean, after 19 years of watching,
I think he's great. Yeah, I
what
do.
would be? Yeah, I mean, he did very well. Look, to be a consistent winner in the National Football League over a long period of time like that is certainly nothing to overlook if you're trying to figure out. So, what's the best path to take in terms of a head coach? Do we get some new flash in the pan kind of guy? Ben Johnson probably, if he wanted to, could name any of those 9 jobs himself after the job he did.
Oh yeah, well, and even before the Bears, but now what he's done there, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
And yet, you don't know if he's going to be able to sustain it past year 2, or even into year 2. You just never know. We've seen crazier things happen. 100%. So, because there's no certainty, here's my conclusion on this whole Chris Shula thing to the Dolphins. Because there's no certainty, I mean, we've had times where we felt so assured that the move that was made was the right move. The most glaring example, Lubie, being us being sucked in by that outrageously unqualified rhetoric by those Denver radio guys. We were in Houston, Texas for the Final Four, our only time ever attending a Final Four radio row, which was a new concept. And Lubie and I were fortunate enough to get the invitation because I would have to say, among my sporting experiences, that was among my favorite, Lubie. In that small room there with all these coaches, and the coaches were just mesmerizingly. Most coaches with coach speak are boring as all hell.
No, that was one of the coolest things because of what you're probably about to say. Like, to see coaches not do that was really cool.
Every guy was fascinating in his own right, was he not?
Oh yeah, no, we did it. We were just
even Leonard.
And it was on a weekend.
Leonard Hamilton.
Days. I don't even know if we used all the interview. It just was, we did it live, but like a lot of the stuff we did, hoping we could air it again. And then I don't know if we did or not. It
was in there at 6 a.m.
It was entertaining. It was just really entertaining. Like the coaches, and they were at our disposal, and they would come and they would give us as much time as we wanted. And they were just very engaging, and none of them did coach speak. There was not any coach speak for like 2 or 3 days. It was, and we interviewed like 15 to 20 coaches. It was really It was a really cool experience. Like college basketball coaches or something else. I mean, that's why we've had Larry Nagel on for years, because they are willing to talk about that's why we like Partridge. Oh, did you see Partridge is now the defensive line coach at Notre Dame?
I saw this. Yeah, I saw.
And I reached out to him, and I want to see if we can get him on.
Wow.
Like, I mean, he's already in Indiana, so I guess it makes sense. It's just interesting.
Do I have to change?
I don't know.
My opinion of Notre Dame now. How do I root against them with every emotional fiber in my being?
I don't know. I meant to tell him that. We hate Notre Dame.
And you got a friend as a coach. Oh my God! Wow. Yeah, that was a good experience, especially when we were mistaken for Syracuse assistant coaches when we were standing there on the side of the court. And and we're watching Villanova just making these remarkable shots in warmups. Well, it wasn't North Carolina. Who they didn't Villanova bowl over Oklahoma?
Yes,
in the first
Villanova.
Game? Was that who slaughtered Oklahoma?
Someone.
Oh, and North Carolina played
Syracuse. Beat the crap out of Syracuse. Yeah, North Carolina beat the crap out of Syracuse. Villanova beat the crap out of Oklahoma, and then they had one of the greatest championship games ever. Villanova and North Carolina.
Oklahoma had Buddy Hield, who didn't do anything
in the game.
It literally looked like the wind was blowing at one side of the arena when you were watching the two teams warm up. Villanova's making everything, and Oklahoma, who I think, were they not favored? Villanova wasn't supposed to win that, were they? I would imagine they were underdogs to North Carolina in the championship game also. That was a great play to end the ball game, much like this thing last night that took place in the Kentucky LSU game. If you get a chance, Lubie, it's always a thing of beauty when a guy heaves one all 3/4 of the court, and all there is time to catch and shoot it. Christian Laettner actually made a little move. Did you see that? Before he took the shot, it wasn't just catch and shoot or hoisting it while he was trying to catch it and in the same motion shoot the ball. He actually had like a fake as they were replaying that because this was very much reminiscent of what happened there and it involved Kentucky being on the other end of it. All right, we have to get out of here. Thanks so much. Tomorrow we'll get into these football games a little bit more. I'm trying to figure out where you stand on Bills Broncos. The Broncos are now favored. Lubie, supposedly Josh Allen full practice, but there isn't a part of his body that isn't injured. I think Matt Kachuk was in better shape when he faced Las Vegas.
Look, that could be an issue because he is right. He's always been a huge part of their team. Now he's their entire offense, and the Broncos have an elite defense.
Hand, ankle, foot.
He's really hurt like that. See, I was leaning Bills. I don't know. Then I don't know what
See
to
what he
do.
did though. You hit. That is one of the worst things that could happen to you. Whenever you would remember you're trying to catch a pass, maybe in football or basketball, and the ball would go straight off your thumb. And I mean, the pain was just incredible of all the different things that you experience. But banging your hand on another guy's helmet as you're in the throwing motion, Libby, what do you think? That looked like
it's bad. Like you see it actually affect quarterbacks. It looks like, oh, that's not a big deal, but you'll see them leave games. You'll see them be hurt. You'll see them break fingers. The helmet is hard and they're moving at a very fast velocity. I guess it would make sense.
It was a real abrupt. How many times have you done that to yourself where you're swinging your arm somehow? Not necessarily in a sporting event. Maybe while you're reaching for some peanut butter in the pantry, right? You're like, whoa, man. But that looked pretty significant. I don't know. I'm no doctor, Louie. I don't know what, but that would be a very compromising thing. Throwing hand too. So which way are you going on that one? Real quick, I just want to run through these games.
I'll lean Bills. I really do. If Allen is really hurt, then I would go Broncos. Then all right. Until we find out he is a warrior. That's the one thing the guy is. So, I mean, he'll tough it out. And again, this year to me is as Bills a year as any year. Like you don't have any other juggernauts. You have a bunch of upstart teams that have very little playoff experience. So to me, if you're the Bills, this is a year that it's opened up for you. Yeah, I know you didn't win the division. It doesn't even matter. Like, no, he can travel. The way he plays,
better off.
Honestly, I think it's
being on the road in Denver against the Denver defense. Denver defense is significant. They're right up.
Like Josh Allen's thing is running. Yeah. So, I mean, you can do that in the.
See what happens there. The San Fran thing, the line's pretty hefty. 7 and a hook. San Fran getting 7.5 points might be worth a shot.
Yeah, the Niners and
I
Seahawks.
don't know. A lot of people don't trust Sam Darnold because of what we saw last year. Is it going to happen? Does a glass slipper turn into the pumpkin?
Yeah, I don't know.
Another remarkable season, and still, it's amazing how many doubts people have about Sam Darnold after 2 years in a row looking great. But he did the pratfall at the end of last year with Minnesota, and they decided they would be better off with J.J. McCarthy. Imagine that.
Oof.
How does that guy have a job?
Yeah.
Houston, New England's an interesting matchup because I think people have underestimated New England, and yet, as you say, Louie, they're unproven in this kind of spot.
Yes.
Is Houston more accountable? I mean, credible here? Their defense is as good as any, you would have to say, that we've seen this year. Their defense reminds you a little bit of what Detroit's defense was before they became decimated by injuries for the last couple of seasons. New England, not bad, though, defensively. I mean,
they just shut down the Chargers. That's the thing is I'm not trying to slight the Patriots. They have a good defense, and their offense is vastly better at this point than the Texans. Stroud just fumbled it 5 times. Yeah. But for some reason, the Texans' defense, to me, I feel like will get after May, and I think the Texans will win. That's what I feel. We'll see how. No, I mean Stroud is not the same dude, but I just think the Texans' defense will be more than enough. Yes, the Patriots' defense is good. It's not as good as the Texans. So I think the Texans
home field, and they're 3-point favorites in this ball game. And then finally, most people, I guess, are assuming the Rams are going to beat the Chicago Bears, who certainly have some Cinderella aspects to their season results. Where I mean, they've come from impossible situations and won almost in half of their games. So do they just have something going, some kind of chutzpah that keeps them going even when they seem to be in the most dire of straits? And a Rams team that had to rally from the grave to knock off what most people thought was a real weak entry, the Carolina Panthers, who had to be like 50-1 before the playoffs to win it all. All right, what are you thinking there? I think you're going with the general public, Lubie.
I think Rams. The Rams have been the team I've kept an eye on for the NFC this whole time. So again, when they almost lost last week, I was like, oh, okay. And yes, struggling with the Panthers is not the dream, but I don't know. I think they rebound. And I feel like the Rams with McVay will get it together this year. Because again, the NFC is sort of wide open. Like the Eagles aren't scary. The Lions aren't even in the playoffs. Like all these teams that we had going into the year that we really thought would do something. Like the Seahawks are a good team. They are a 1 seed. They're not scary. So I don't know. I think the Rams with the better quarterback, probably the best quarterback left in the NFC playoff picture, and the best coach. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2.
Yeah.
So I lean the Rams, and we'll see.
All right. McVay compared to McDaniel. All right, we'll leave you on that note. You guys think about that for 24 hours, and we'll be back. Or 23. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:00. Professor, join us. A little big board. Thanks to Dave for being with us. Thanks to you guys for taking part in the program. All the chat line comments very, very much on point today. For Mike Lubie Lubitz and a little bit of a fussy Luka Lubitz today. Upset about the Dolphins coaching situation. Did I hear him say at one point, Shula? I think
he did. And I have to quiet him down because it hasn't happened yet.
Spreading irrelevant rumors here.
Let it happen first. Jeez, little one.
Blame it on the kid. I'm Jeff DeForest. We'll see you next time as we leave you know that.
The time.
9:08.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my soul.